Hello Kitty Queens and Kitty Beauty Tees, it's me again and I'm back with another client tutorial. If you would like to see how I achieve this pretty soft pink look, just keep watching. As you can see, I'm starting this tutorial off by cleaning off her face, and once it's all clean, I'm going to go in and arch up her eyebrows a little bit using this eyebrow archer. Once I have her eyebrows nice and shaped up, I'm going to go in and moisturize her face, and I'm using my Pond's moisturizer. To fill in her brows, I'm going to be using my Nicka K eyebrow pencil, and this one is in the shade Black Brown. As you can see, I like to outline the eyebrows first and then start filling them in at the tail and working my way to the front. My model has microbladed brows, so it's not really much I have to do in terms of filling them in. I just like to touch up any sparse areas. Now, once I've made my way to the front of the eyebrows, I'm going to be filling it in using my Nicka K eyebrow pencil, but this one is in the shade Light Brown. To clean up her eyebrows, I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer along with my Nicka K Concealer. First, I'm going in with my e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer because it's lighter, and I'm going to be using it to clean up underneath her eyebrows. Now that I have the bottom clean, I'm just going to go ahead and clean up the top using that Nicka K concealer, just so it can be easier to blend out with her foundation. And once the eyebrows are nice and on fleek, I'm going to be taking my buffing brush and just buffing out all the excess concealer. For an eyeshadow base, I'm going to be using my P.Louise base, and this is in the shade Rumor Number 1. As you can see, I'm just placing this all over her eyelids using that flat brush. And once I have it all in place, I'm going to go ahead and buff it out using that same buffing brush that I used to buff out her eyebrows. The palette I'm going to be using in today's tutorial is the Spice palette from Lash. I think this is the perfect Valentine's Day palette. As you can see, this is what the color scheme looks like. And the first color I'm going in with is Hay, which is that vibrant pink shade. And as you can see, I'm just buffing this color on the outer edge of her eyes. Now I'm taking a clean blending brush and I'm using it to blend out the edges of that first shade that we used. Once I have those colors built up, I'm going to be going back in with a little bit of my P.Louise base, and I'm just placing this on her lids. Since this is a no-cut crease look, I wanted it to be very blended and as flawless as possible. So I went back in with that base so that whatever lid shade that I used was as pigmented as it could possibly be. For her lids, I'm going to be taking this light pink shade from my Morphe 35B palette, and I'm just going to be placing this color all over the P.Louise base. Once her lids are fully covered, I'm going to go back in with that blending brush and use it to blend out the edge of my eyeshadow. This next step is optional, but y'all know me, I'm a little extra. So I'm taking my 3 P.Louise bases and I'm going to be using these to make a wing across her eye. First, I'm starting off with the violet one, as you can see, and I'm just stamping it in place using this angle brush. If you have any water activated liners, you can use them as well. I've had some that I should have used, but I didn't think of it until after this video. So if you have those, you can use those. If you have liquid lipsticks, you can use that as well. As you can see, I have bases, so I'm using a base. So I did an ombre wing, starting off with the violet one, then I made it fade into the pink, and once I have the pink stamped on, I'm going to be applying the red shade. Once I have the wings all drawn on, I did set them with eyeshadow off camera. Now as you can see, I'm just going in and applying my glitters, and I purchased these glitters off AliExpress. If you're interested in buying them, I will have a link in the description box for you. They were very affordable. But as you can see, I'm just doing an ombre effect the same way that I did with the bases. Moving on to the face routine, I'm going to be taking a little bit of my calamine lotion and just applying it to her face to mattify her skin. For foundation, I'm going to be using my Fit Me foundation, and I only used one shade. I really wanted to use two, but as I told y'all earlier, this video was pretty rushed. So as you can see, I'm just applying the foundation onto her face using this flat brush. To blend out the foundation, I'm going to be using this dense Real Techniques foundation brush. I went over the foundation a little bit with my sponge just to make sure everything was properly blended. To contour her face, I'm going to be using my black opal foundation stick, and this one is in the shade Beautiful Bronze. As you can see, I'm just dotting this along her cheekbones and on her forehead. To highlight her face, I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer, and this one is in the shade Medium Sand. I'm going to be taking whatever excess concealer is left on my brush, and I'm using it to clean up the edge of her wing. While the concealer is setting in place, I'm going to go ahead and blend out her contour, and to blend it out, I'm using my damp Real Techniques sponge. Once I have the contour all blended out, I'm going to flip my sponge to a clean side and proceed to blending out the highlight. To set the highlighted areas of her face, I'm going to be using my Fit Me pressed powder, and it's in the shade Coconut. As you can see, I just like to place my sponge in the powder and then press the sponge into her skin. To set her contour, I'm using my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, and it's in the color Dark Deep. Now I'm setting the remaining areas of her face, and to do so I'm using some of my Black Radiance press powder. I like to take this powder and press it up against her highlight and her contour shade just to make sure everything is well blended. Next, I'm going in with my Fenty Loose face powder, and this one is in the shade Honey, and I'm just using it to clean up under her contour and around her nose. Then I'm going in with a random blush. I don't even know the brand name, girl, but I'm taking it on this fluffy ankle brush and just applying it to the apples of her cheeks. For her under eyes, I'm going to be going in with that pink shade from the Lash palette and just applying it to her lower lash line. And I lined her waterline with some black gel liner off camera. Y'all know I always have to line that waterline. It's a must. I wanted to add a little bit more detail to the look, so I decided to glue a rhinestone to the tear duct of her eye and then one on the edge of her wing as well. And to glue them on, I'm just using my INV clear eyelash glue. You can find it at your local beauty supply store. Now I'm just going to take a blending brush and dust away all this powder from her face. I'm going to go ahead and spray her face with some setting spray. Then I'm going to fan over it. And before the spray is all the way dry, I'm just going to go in with highlighter. And for the highlighter, I used my Bperfect Get Wet highlighter. I will have the shade name in the description box down below. Once that's all finished, I'm going to go ahead and do her lips. As you can see, I lined them off camera. To line her lips, I use my LA Colors Dark Brown Eyebrow Pencil. Y'all should already know this, ma'am. And I'm just going in the center of her lips using my Absolute New York lip gloss, and it's in the shade Natural. I went on top of her lips with a clear gloss from Snatch Squad, and once I have it all applied, that's basically going to be the finished look, and we're going to be getting into the grand reveal, so I'm just going to let y'all watch.
Okay, you ready to see? Ma'am, are you ready to see?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, shit. Love it. Oh, look like so pink and pretty.
Looking like Valentine's
Looking like
Day.
Valentine's Day.
Okay.
So this is the finished look, and this is the video that I captured on my phone. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, go follow me on Instagram. The link will be in the description box so you don't miss any of my client content. But this is the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for my next one. Bye bye.